the front office, then walked to his mother's kindergarten class, walked in, and opened fire there. We've talked about the security a bit at this school because we heard from a parent this morning during our coverage saying that anyone who comes to Sandy Hook Elementary has to be let in. They have to ring a buzzer. Someone in the office has to let them in. And again, it all makes sense. The son of a kindergarten teacher either led into that school this morning or somehow found his way in and opened fire.
And one other father told us of his helpless feeling when he learned of the situation. In his words, there are no words. One person who is a superior observer of human beings over the years, our veteran reporter Doug Green, is live in Newtown. Doug, who have you talked to and what have they had to say to you throughout this awful, awful day?
Jerry, we were one of the first reporters to get down here before 11 o'clock. By that time, the police had evacuated the school. We were just outside of the Sandy Hook Fire Department, which is where they had taken the surviving children and teachers. And so what we were seeing was one child after another coming out of that fire department with his mother or father or friend of the family. And some of them were talking. Some of the children were talking about hiding under the desk. There was one boy named Brandon Ray who said that his teacher put the paper up over the windows of the door, had all the kids line up against the wall, and then she put them all into the closet. It seems as if it was something that they had practiced before. It's something you'd think they would never, ever have to do for real. But here in Newtown, of all places, Fairfield County, they had to do it this morning. So it was hard to tell the horror of what's happened here, looking at the people coming out of the firehouse. Police weren't saying anything. The firefighters weren't saying anything. Only after Governor Malloy got here about 1:30 and went into the firehouse and did not come out for more than an hour did we realize that this was where the parents of the victims of this were, and he was talking with each one of them. So I think the president talked about broken hearts. Newtown certainly is a town full of broken hearts this afternoon.
All right, Doug Green, live in Newtown. Thank you. And Doug will, of course, stay on this story, as will our entire staff, as we continue our coverage of something that's not supposed to happen in our backyard, but it did. The story at the bottom of your screen, 28 people dead. The first call came in after 9:30 this morning, and then all hell broke loose in the beautiful town of Newtown. 20 of their youngest are dead. Students at Sandy Hook Elementary School, kindergarten through 4th grade. Apparently most of those little victims were on the younger end of that school. The kindergarten teacher, the mother of the alleged shooter, was also among the victims. 20 children, 6 adults, and the shooter. And the shooter is now being identified by the Associated Press as Adam Lanza, 20 years old. Earlier today, again, to be clear, everybody, including us, were reporting that 24-year-old Ryan Lanza, his brother, was the shooter. There had been some conjecture that he had the wrong ID on him. We don't know. But now the Associated Press is reporting that 20-year-old Adam Lanza was the shooter. This is video from earlier today of the police presence, the police action around the school, the search for a possible other suspect. Look at that, police standing around a playground where kids should have been having a great time on a beautiful Friday, looking forward to the continuing celebration of Hanukkah with Christmas coming up. Boy, what a great time to be a kid. And, you know, for 20 kids, it's over.
Absolutely. This school of about 456 students, rather large there, this K through 4th grade students preparing to go on their winter break next week. So many parents dropping their children off at school this morning. And in the moments and hours after this shooting started, those parents, many of them returned to that school after reverse 911 calls went out, alerting them to what had happened. Again, 20 parents walked away without their children. There was a child that our NBC Connecticut's Liz Dahlem spoke with, a 3rd grader, and this little girl was actually in the gym class when the shooting started. She's going to describe what they heard, possibly what they saw when all of this went down.
You know, these kids are exposed to much more than we were growing up.